Now, this is all in Seattle, and I'm just not surprised. I mean, if you've been paying attention to anything in the news, when you go on any social media networks, AI is being heavily used. Matter of fact, they say there's more bots putting posts out than people. I mean, just look at some of the stuff that gets pushed on you on the like reels and on TikTok. A lot of it's AI. I mean, even when I'm watching YouTube, right? I'll watch something, and the commercial will be AI. And sometimes it's not so obvious. So the thing is, the only people it looks like going to survive are the ones that are working around AI. And I guess if you build a brand, that will be valuable because as we push more and more towards tech doing the mundane things, it's going to get to a point where, as people, we still crave dealing with actual people and knowing we're dealing with a person. That will be the only real value going forward in the future. If you're going to sell yourself as a person or sell a product, if you want to use people, they need to know it's a real person. I think that's what we're going to get. Things are going to get so artificial, and the artificial stuff is going to be so good that we just need to know it's a person. The only way you can do that is literally by being yourself, and even that's going to be hard because let's face it, AI is it's doing the perfection stuff right. But what happens when AI starts doing the things our flaws, starts copying things like our flaws and the things we do wrong, and then we won't be able to tell the difference. That's something to think about. Most jobs can end up potentially obsolete. The only reason they'd be there is because we choose for them to be there. So it'd have to be us as people, not the AI making that decision. But will we let AI have so much control that it'll be making most of the decisions for us? It would be like the Terminator movies then. Except the difference is these Terminators are a lot smarter. They didn't lift one weapon. We just gave it all to them. Y'all take care. People are starting to feel the layoffs from Amazon. Uh, it's just the nature of the beast. This has been going on since I've been alive. I mean, when I was able to even understand layoffs, which was in the '90s when I was a teenager. Uh, but in that time, it was a lot of jobs, like factory jobs, that went overseas, and that had been going on for a while, and they went on into the '90s. But today, the difference is AI. AI is a major difference, and also we got to add in with COVID. There was an increase in jobs in COVID because there was people using the internet more and tech and things of that nature. So that was kind of overinflated. There was a lot of people that were paid to stay home, and that even happened with say content creators and things of that nature. A lot of people benefited. The truck people in trucking industry starting their own businesses benefited quite a bit. But even with that, you found years down the road, if they didn't have their money right, now that things have calmed down, it's not working out. And this is kind of for the tech side of things, especially with Amazon. This is kind of they're still getting business. I still use Amazon all the time, but I do think with the AI, administrative work is always going to get hurt. And all you can do, even when there's no job that's safe. It's never the case. And I would say all you can do is always look to upskill, always look to diversify what you can do. Because the best way to stay employed is to learn applicable things that people need. Find things that people need and get some training, get a skill in that. I've always done that, you know. Even once you achieve something, you got to think, what can I do next? You know what I'm saying? So you always got to try to invest in yourself because like the education and training doesn't just end in your early 20s. It's something that today in life you have to go through and adapt and adjust. So even though you achieve something, once you achieve that thing, you always got to be thinking what's next and watching the news and seeing where the tech is going. Those are two things you always got to do. And if you don't, you'll be sitting there stuck saying, "Oh, I'm out of a job. What do I do?" Now sometimes that does happen, but the last thing you need to do is just sit there and do nothing. If you're in that situation, you need to be looking for 3 or 4 jobs a day. You make that your job, you know? But this is going to continue. I don't think this trend is going to stop for quite some time. We just have to keep an eye on it. Y'all take care. When I've been looking at the weather in the States, I have to think to myself, I just have to think, what's going on with this screen? Sorry, y'all. What happened to global warming? What happened? From Canada all the way to Oxford, Mississippi, there is snow and ice everywhere. The good weather of the South is no more. We're talking temperatures well below 0 Celsius. What's happening, people? When is the global warming going to kick in? Because even here, we've had some cold weather. Now, recently, the last week in the UK, been very wet, raining a lot. So I guess maybe the global warming's only happening here. Maybe. I think we need to check with Miss Thornburg. She would know the answer to this. I'm quite sure we can get her and all her good people to fly on a jet plane and go somewhere into an exotic island in the middle of the Pacific and invite all the world leaders from all over the world for them to talk about climate change and moan at us for not recycling our plastic items. Because you see, the way you save the planet is by getting one of the most notorious polluters of transportation, the jet plane, and ride on it and go to a meeting. Pay loads of people to do that when you could have just did a video call. That's how you save the planet. Then in the end, you're getting astronomical blizzards. I've never seen blizzards so bad in my life in the States. The thing with global warming is it's just so hard to predict. We haven't done enough calculation to figure out if we're having an impact, if at all. We know we're adding CO2, but even when we look at the records, there's been way more CO2 in the atmosphere than we've pumped in. And the way technology's going, we're using less of it, and we will use less of it. So is it really doom and gloom? Do they really know? They don't. By the time it does change, most of us will be long gone. We'll be a memory if we're lucky. So I have to ask myself, is global warming real? What's happened to it? It's just like it's taking a vacation. The world may never know. I'll holla at y'all.